Welcome to immigrationquestion.com, your go-to resource for U.S. immigration insights. We provide clear immigration news and information. Our platform provides a network of licensed attorneys who can answer your questions and guide you through the process. From visas to green cards, asylums to citizenships, immigrationquestion.com helps you to network with immigration attorneys so that you can move forward with confidence. Sign up today or download the app. Free registration, limited time offer. Stay tuned. We go live in 30 seconds.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar edition hosted by immigrationquestion.com, a networking platform and meeting ground where immigrants, families, advocates, and licensed immigration attorneys come together to better understand U.S. immigration policies and procedures. My name is GB Setusa, and I'll be your host for today's important discussion: removal defense strategies, understanding your rights and available immigration relief. Now, only a few moments in the immigration process can feel as overwhelming as receiving notice that you are to appear before an immigration judge. Questions about what happens next, what rights you have, and what forms of relief are available can quickly become a source of uncertainty for individuals and families alike. Now, the good news is that being placed in removal proceedings does not automatically mean a person has run out of options. Immigration law provides several forms of relief that may be available depending on a person's circumstances, immigration history, family relationships, and other factors. Knowing what those options are and when they may apply can make a meaningful difference as a case moves forward. To help us break this down, we're honored to be joined by attorney John Ting, a nationally recognized immigration attorney who has built a strong reputation representing individuals in immigration court and helping clients pursue lawful status in the United States. His work includes removal defense, federal litigation, and advocacy on behalf of immigrants facing government delays, denials, and deportation proceedings. Attorney Ting, thank you for joining us today. We're thrilled to have you for this important discussion.
Thank you so much, GB. It's a pleasure to be here to answer any questions.
Before we move on, a quick reminder to our audience: immigrationquestion.com is a public educational and networking platform. The information shared today is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute individualized legal advice. If you are joining us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, or any other platform, welcome. Please subscribe and share this session with anyone who may benefit from learning more about removal proceedings and the forms of relief that may be available in immigration court. Attorney Ting, let's dive right in. Now, to begin, what does it mean to be placed in removal proceedings?
That means this is the U.S. government's opportunity. They're trying and want to remove a person from the United States.
All right. Now, what happens if someone arrives late or misses a scheduled immigration court hearing?
It's very problematic because an immigration judge will order a person removed on paper, and so to order removal, what we call in absentia, meaning you were absent. And so it's a tragic thing because sometimes people ran into traffic, so we even give tips, or they run out of gas. It's so many things you can't expect. That's why I advise people show up like 1 hour earlier before the court time, just in case. Or maybe even, sorry, one more example, because it happens a lot in New York as well, in New Jersey, I don't know, is that you get there on time with sufficient time, but the line is too long because there's so many people trying that has a court date.
All right. Now, attorney, what legal issues have arisen regarding notices to appear, or NTAs, that do not include a hearing date or time?
It's confusing because even when there is a date and time, that actually does not mean the date and time of your court date, where it shows at the very bottom on the notice to appear. So the notice to appear is a different document than a notice of hearing. They sound similar, so people get it a little mixed up, but when it's actually a notice of hearing document, then that date and time is typically correct. But fortunately, There is an online website by the court. If you just type in Google or Bing search
Yeah.
EOIR automated case information, it will pop up. You just type in your A number and country of nationality. It'll show you the most accurate date and time.
Okay.
Mhm.
Attorney, what are the what are mega master hearings, and how do they affect the immigrant's ability to present their case?
Well, so this is recent. I know some areas of the United States it has been going on. I mean, normally before they implemented this mega master docket, so think of a docket as a
Yeah.
scheduling of how many different cases a judge will hear about. Okay, in one day, and actually one in the morning, usually 8 or 9 in the morning, and then one at 1 p.m. for the afternoon docket.
Yeah.
But usually, if I can just take a step back, there's two different types of court hearings. One is called master calendar hearing. Think of that as more like a pretrial, where you're just your attorney or you, if you're representing yourself, give the judge an update what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe you filed an application, provide evidence, things like that. Whereas a merits hearing, or otherwise known as individual, that's also a trial date, like final trial. So, so when they're referring to these mega master dockets, it's about the master hearing, more like a pretrial. And, and before they did this, it's maybe about like 15 to 20 in one docket, one in the morning or one in the afternoon. Now they've been saying it's about 100. So these judges, everyone involved, all the stakeholders involved, have to go even faster. And here's what you're asking about the consequence of all this.
Yeah.
Things can be missed, and especially when there's a whole slate of newer judges who might not have any immigration law experience. This is problematic if something could be missed.
Yeah. Attorney, what humanitarian protections may be available to individuals facing removal?
So these are all wonderful questions, and I'm all about sharing knowledge. So in this particular example, is for example, a U visa is a victim of a crime, or T visa as trafficking victim of trafficking. Now, I'll just try to give a quick summary about it. Of course, I could talk a long time about these different options, but T visas. Most people think quickly associate T visa with sex trafficking. It includes more than just sex trafficking. Essentially, if you had to take a higher level definition, a broader definition, it's people that are forced to do something that they do not want to do. So anything related to working, doing something that's not volunteer, and you're not getting paid for it, 100%. So you could be getting paid 95%, but you're owed another 5%, or it's overtime pay in America.
Yeah.
That's one example. Or the work conditions are horrible. Okay. Um, so those are two quick examples in terms of humanitarian options that most people might not see if they're Googling or
Mm.
searching online.
Yeah. Now, what should individuals know about appeal deadlines after receiving an unfavorable decision from an immigration judge?
That's a wonderful question because deadlines are so important to law firms. We want to file whichever document or notice to appeal
Mm.
before the deadline. And so traditionally, with really, I think any area of law in America, when a person wants to appeal, try to change a decision,
Yeah.
it's usually a 30-day deadline to notify the court that you want to appeal it. Okay, so but I think by now about 2 or 3 months ago, uh, the, f- there was a federal regulation to propose a rule to change the deadline to appeal from 30 days to 10 days. That is problematic.
Yeah.
I believe right now there could be a lawsuit, so it's still up in the air. It's not been finalized to 10 days. But that's problematic because also because of the big beautiful bill from 2025, they added a fee. I believe it's a little over $1,000.
Yeah.
So not just reduced timing to appeal, but also the fee to have ready.
Yeah.
Which is why, if I may add one more thing about that, that's why before we even have, at least at our law firm here at Green Card Guys Law Group, we notify people. It was like, we're here to advocate for you, but there is a possibility if you get denied by a judge that you need to be ready about the next step if you want to file an appeal, and this how much it's going to cost. So transparency is very important to us.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a lawyer, obviously there's so many really good immigration lawyers in America, also some really bad ones. So you do want to ask some questions such as, what if I get denied? What does it look like after that?
That's true. Thank you so much, Attorney, for those insights. For everyone watching, this conversation about removal defense is intended to shed light on a part of the immigration system that can feel unfamiliar or intimidating. Individuals facing removal proceedings may have important rights and legal options available to them, as every case is different. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. ImmigrationQuestion.com is a networking platform where users can ask immigration related questions at no cost and engage with participating attorneys. We are also proud to share that ImmigrationQuestion.com is Triple B accredited and ISO certified. This reflects our commitment to transparency, accountability, community education, and security. Attorney Ting, based on your experience, how does ImmigrationQuestion.com help immigrants and immigration attorneys like yourself?
Oh, your immigrationquestion.com has been a wonderful platform for everyone involved. I know it's difficult for people to find an attorney. That one of the reasons I became a lawyer is to help explain things in a better way, a different way that's easier to understand. An immigration question that does many things to connect people who are seeking legal services with attorneys if they need one, but just really having a knowledge base has been a wonderful treat that I've noticed.
Thank you so much for those thoughts. Now, before we move into our live Q&A, let's tackle this important question. What are some misconceptions about removal proceedings and available immigration relief that you believe individuals should clarify to avoid making decisions on inaccurate information?
So I want to acknowledge the elephant in the room in America, United States, is that at least in 2025 and sometimes in 2026, some people have been arrested in the courtroom or in the hallway. Okay, that normally does not happen. That is a new thing under this current administration. So the misconception, at least before, is that some people thought, oh, if I go to court, whether it's a master calendar hearing or individual hearing, final trial, some people think, oh, there's a possibility that they're going to get arrested, and that's actually far from the truth. So even though some people watching right now may have seen a video or two about people being arrested in immigration courts in the United States, that is not always the case. It does happen from time to time, but it's not for every single person. Okay. And so that's why I still encourage you as an attorney, I encourage you to attend your court hearing, because if you don't, then you're automatically going to get order removed, which we just discussed that a second ago.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, we've been speaking with immigration attorney John Ting on removal defense strategies, understanding your rights, and available immigration relief. We are now moving into our live Q&A session. This is your opportunity to ask general questions and hear educational insight from a licensed immigration attorney. Please drop those questions in the chat or call us live at 516-703-3483, and we'll take as many questions as time permits. All right. Salif is asking, if I am already in deportation proceedings, do I still have a chance to stay in the United States?
Well, Salif, thank you for your question. Generally, I hate to say it depends. Because I don't know what facts you have with your immigration history. But if you're in, it sounds like maybe you received some kind of notice to appear to go to court and maybe a notice of hearing. It sounds like you may not have actually had an opportunity to go to court yet for your hearing. So in general, yes, if you can file an application with or without an attorney. Of course, if you consult with an attorney or engage with one, then usually, at least with us, we would, if you are eligible for something, we would prepare that application and file it when we get to court.
All right. Carla is asking, if I marry a US citizen, will that stop my deportation case?
So it's, in general, there is an opportunity for you to prove that is not a fraudulent marriage. There is a law, 204G, that says if you marry to a U.S. citizen during removal proceedings, which means after receiving that document, notice to appear, then that's automatically presumed to be a fraudulent marriage. However, we've been successful in many cases to we call rebut that presumption to prove that it's a bona fide legitimate marriage, and eventually they obtain the resident status. Absolutely.
All right. Ibrahim is asking, how can I prove that my US citizen child would suffer if I got deported?
Ibrahim, thank you so much for your question. So this is where we go in a deep dive. Basically, we internally call it investigation because we want to get to know you. So I'm just giving some examples here, but generally we're trying to learn what is your day to day that you do to help your child. And parents, we do so much for our children that it's just a habit that we don't think about. So we really break down the schedule, like literally Sunday through Saturday. What do you do in the morning? What do you do in the lunchtime? What do you do in the afternoon or evening for your child? And so and then when you take yourself out of that picture, out of the calendar, who is going to step in to help? So, like to take your spot to help you out. And it's actually very difficult to think of someone. And so many people we've talked to, even if they have a big family and nearby, they have their own family members they need to take care of in their own nucleus. So that's the kind of conversation you would have, at least with our team.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, if I can add one more thing, I'm sorry. It doesn't always, for hardship, it doesn't always require some kind of medical condition or disease.
Yeah.
Of course, that certainly could help your legal facts for requirements, but it's not always required to be able to get approved.
Okay. Edikugbe is asking, can I get a work permit while my immigration court case is still going on?
Thank you for your question. So it depends on what basis. Some people, if they have a asylum application, you had asylum interview with USCIS that you get referred to immigration court, yes, you can continue renewing your work permit. There are other situations where you can apply for a work permit that if you're eligible for something called like cancellation or removal, there's opportunity to also apply for a work permit. Those are just two examples.
Ben is asking, what happens if I miss an immigration court hearing?
So Ben, we chatted about this earlier on the top of the show, but I'm happy to answer for you, sir. So this would be if you missed a court hearing, the judge will order you removed in absentia, meaning absent. Okay. Now there is a legal possibility to reopen that case, but the legal exception right now is if you didn't know about that court date, right? So the fact that you're asking this question now, you definitely do not want to miss that court date.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So one more thing, I'm sorry, just a tip here for everyone is that if you move, it is your responsibility as the immigrant to update the court your new address. So if you have an attorney, just like we tell our clients, please tell us first before your family that you're about to move. Like that's how important it is when you have a court case and a USCIS case.
All right.
Thank you.
Milika is asking, if the judge says no to my case, can I still appeal or ask for another chance?
Hi, Milika. I'm glad you're asking this. You can appeal. We call it a notice to appeal first. It's not the brief. The brief can be provided later on when the BIA, Board of Immigration Appeals, sends it to the attorney, for example. But it's difficult to appeal every case. Some law firms will say, sure, you can appeal, but what we look at a Green Card Guys Law Group is, number one, we don't want to waste anyone's money. So although attorneys cannot promise you a result, we can tell you what your possible options are if filing an appeal would be essentially worth the opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for those valuable insights. Now, attorney, I understand you have a very big announcement that may be beneficial to our audience?
Thank you for the opportunity, JB. So here at Green Card Guys Law Group, along with another law firm, we, in terms of our federal litigation practice, we recently filed a class action lawsuit for the 39 country pause for people who filed the application with USCIS. That was in May. So we actually have a new announcement with a deadline of June 26th. So 1 week from now, that we're filing a different group lawsuit to lift the pause and ban on 75 countries. And so that one affects people who are waiting overseas outside America. It's been very unfortunate that people have been waiting because the current immigration policies. So there's already been success about that, and we're looking to continue that. So if you're interested, if I may plug my website, please visit www.greencardguys.com.
Thank you so much, Attorney. Thank you to everyone who joined us for this special webinar. And thank you, Attorney Ting, for sharing your knowledge and practical guidance with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Blessing.
You can always visit immigrationquestion.com to ask immigration-related questions, stay updated about policy updates, and register for upcoming live events. If you missed any part of today's important discussion with Attorney Ting, the replay will be available on Spotify soon. Just search Borderless Talk by immigrationquestion.com. We look forward to seeing you on Wednesday at our next webinar. Until then, stay informed, stay prepared, and stay connected. Bye-bye.